in a seated position today. So finding just a comfortable seat towards the top of your mat. Whatever comfortable seat means for you, crisscross applesauce, maybe legs straight out, maybe on your knees, perhaps even sitting on a prop, a block, or a towel. Assistant yoga teacher making his entrance here. Hopefully he is quiet throughout class today, but we'll make it work. So from the seated position, allow your hands to rest comfortably wherever they fall, maybe down on the ground beside you, maybe resting on your arms or on your legs, and then begin to allow your gaze to go fuzzy, maybe even taking your eyes closed, focusing in on a single point, whether it be a speck on the ground in front of you or that third eye center, that space right between your eyebrows. And allow your inhales to become more intentional, your exhales to become more softening. With every inhale, perhaps grow a centimeter taller through the crown of your head. Every exhale, allow your shoulders to sink a little bit closer to the earth. And at this point, I always like to invite you to join in with an intention for me today. And I know intentions are often spoken about through meditation and through yoga, but what isn't often spoken about is what an actual intention is. And the idea is changing the mindset from I intend or I want into I intend. So rather than making it something future, something unattainable, something outside of our grasp, it's I intend in the sense of this is something that is attainable, it's something achievable, it is right there. So shifting that perspective from I need or I want into I intend is the point of an intention. So take a moment here, focus on something that is perhaps an I want or an I need, and shift that mindset into an I intend. No boundaries, no limits, everything is fully attainable. And let's take one more really big, deep breath into I intend. Inhale deeply, fully, let your crown reach high, really fill up those lungs, those side bodies, going all the way down to your seat bones. Open mouth, exhale. Let that intention go out into your space. On an inhale breath, let those hands reach high to the sky. Your eyes can flutter open if they're closed. Bring a little bit more focus in. Gaze goes up in between your hands. And then exhale, cactus your arms, find a little baby back bend. Inhale, reach those fingertips tall. And on your exhale breath, let your right hand come to the outside of your left knee. Left hand comes back behind you. Find a nice little gentle twist. Inhale, tall through the crown of your head. Exhale, find a twist. Inhale, come back through midline. Reach those fingertips tall. Gaze falls up right in between those hands. Moving into second side. As you exhale, melt that left hand to the outside of right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale, grow tall through the crown of your head. Exhale, find a little bit more twist. On your inhale breath, come back through midline. Fingertips reach tall. Little baby back bend, open that heart. Inhale those hands tall. Exhale, let those hands melt down to your legs and just find some nice organic movements through your shoulders, maybe shrugging your shoulders, little rotations, neck drops, whatever organic movement your body is calling for. Take a couple breaths to just find that. And then once you feel balanced, once you feel like you have connected with both sides of your body equally, go ahead and either roll over your ankles or sweep your legs out to the side, making your way into your comfortable tabletop position. Continue that organic movement, continue that little away, maybe wagging your tail, maybe dropping your head, shaking your head yes, shaking your head no. And once you feel like you have arrived at your tabletop position, we're going to continue with our breath to body movement, finding that connection through some cat-cows. On your next inhale breath, drop your belly, lift your gaze, collarbones elevate up through your heart space. As you exhale, press that mat away, coil that belly up and in, really rounding through the back of the heart space, dropping that head. Twice more like that. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, feel that expansion on the front side of your body. As you exhale, use that exhale breath to really vacuum seal your belly up and in, finding that space that you can take up with your body, expansion on the back side of your space. One more. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, press it away, coil it up and in. On your next inhale breath, come back through neutral, activating both cat and cow right in the middle. Go ahead, walk those palms forward, about a palm width distance. Curl your toes under if they're not there already. Press into your fingertips and let those hips lift high and back. Downward facing dog. Another opportunity to be a little bit flashy. Find the downward facing dog shape here and today, knowing that every time you enter into the shape, it's a completely different story. So permission to find this space. But also because it's a familiar movement, it's a good opportunity to check in with your intention. That shift from I want into I intend. So finding that space. Now find the space in stillness. Even though our body isn't actively moving, your breath still finds little adjustments. Inhale those hips a little bit higher, press into those fingertips a little bit more. Exhale, melt those heels down towards the earth, heart in between those arms. And connecting this breath with body movement, let's find our sun salutation flow. On your inhale breath, let that right leg lift high to the sky, really reach it tall. Now take your entire exhale breath, slowly moving through, pull that knee into belly, into chest, looking at that right thumb, gently stepping through. You can use your hand to get there if you need to. And then go ahead, pull that left leg in line with the right, step it forward, forward fold. Let your head hang heavy. Inhale, press into your shins, crown reaches forward, find your halfway lift. Exhale, melt into that forward fold. Inhale, big movement, reverse swan dive it. Stand it tall, finding your mountain pose. Exhale, baby back bend. Open up through that heart space. Gaze goes to the sky. Inhale, reach those fingertips tall, mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive it, forward fold. Keep that core engaged all the way down. Inhale, press into those shins, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, step back first with right foot, then left, comes to plank pose. Big inhale breath, cultivate your energy, pull it all in. And then as you exhale, traveling through plank or tabletop, elbows graze your ribs, make your way slowly all the way to belly. Tops of your toes press into the mat. Activate through those legs. Inhale, breath, 20 to 30% of that weight in your hands. Baby cobra. Exhale, release. That forehead comes down to mat. Shifting from I want to I intend. Find that intention. Inhale, breath, press it up through plank or tabletop. Hips lift high and back. Downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Inhale into any point that's feeling tension. Hips, heart, shoulders, or mind. Exhale, release any of that tension. Use that exhale breath to find the softness. Inhale that left leg, breathe high to the sky, reach it tall. As you exhale, pulling that knee into belly first, then into chest. We're looking at that left thumb, gently step it through. Use your hand to get there if you need to. And then inhale, breath, let that right foot come to meet left. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press into those shins, halfway lift, crown reaches forward. Exhale, melt through that heart, forward fold, release all the tension in your neck. Big movement, inhale, reverse swan dive it, stand it tall, mountain pose. Exhale, baby back bend, open up, shine that heart, feel that intention. Inhale, reach it tall, inhale, press into those shins, halfway lift, reach through that crown. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, step back with the left foot first, and then right. Find the energy, cultivate it here, and then as you exhale, elbows graze your ribs, come all the way to belly. Tops of your toes press in, activate through your legs, your back, and then your arms. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, release, forehead to mat. Find that intention, curl your toes under. Inhale, breath, press it up through plank or tabletop. Hips lift high and back, downward facing dog. Reset breath here. Yet again, send that inhale to anything that's still hanging on. Exhale, soften into that space. Right. Exhale, release into that forward fold. Release through your neck muscles. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Crown reaches forward. Exhale, release into that fold. Inhale, scoop up all that energy. Reach it tall, mountain pose. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, reach it tall, mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive it, forward fold. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Inhale, press into your shins, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, step it back with that right leg first, and then left. Big cultivating breath here. Inhale into that plank. Exhale with control, come all the way to belly. Tops of your toes, press in. Activate through those legs, back, arms, cobra pose. Shine that heart up and through. Exhale, forehead to mat. Find that intention. I want to I intend. Curl your toes back under. Inhale, press it up through plank or tabletop. Hips lift high and back. Downward facing dog. Recultivating breath here. Inhale into your hips. Exhale through that heart. Inhale, release that left leg high. Find that nice, elevating, energizing stretch. And then as you exhale, slow as you can go, knee to belly, knee to chest. Step it through to that left thumb. And then right comes to meet left. Exhale into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Elevate, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, melt into that forward fold with that space, with that found extra space. Sweep those arms up and around. Find that energy. Cultivate it in. Inhale into mountain pose. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, reach it tall. Exhale, swan dive it, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Again, creating space in your side body through the crown of your head. Exhale, use that space to fall into your forward fold. Hands come to the mat. Inhale, step it back. Left leg first, then right. Plank pose, power with control. Use your entire exhale breath. Come all the way to belly, through knees or through plank. Tops of your toes press in first here. Don't lose the power. Don't lose the control. Inhale into your cobra. Shine that heart. Soak up the energy. And then exhale, pull it all in. Use it here, forehead to mat. Focus in on your intention. Find that space. Toes curl under, hands underneath shoulders. Inhale, press it up through plank or tabletop. And then hips elevate high and back. Downward facing dog. One more round each side. Inhale, lift those hips a little bit higher. Exhale, soften through that heart, soften through those shoulders. Inhale, that right leg releases high to the sky. Reach it tall. Take your time. As you exhale, we're looking at our right thumb. Gently step it through. Left comes to meet right on your inhale. Exhale, melts into that forward fold. Release through your neck, release through your jaw. Inhale, press into your shins, halfway lift, creating space in our side bodies, in our lungs, in our spine. Exhale, melt into that forward fold. Take up that space. From here, find the energy, sweep it up and around. Reverse swan dive, stand it tall, mountain pose. Exhale, back bend, shine that heart. Inhale, reach it tall. Exhale, swan dive, find your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, step it back with right leg first, and then left. Take a beat here, feel the power, find the control. Traveling through plank or tabletop, come all the way to belly. Keep those elbows in tight. Tops of your toes, press in. Inhale, shine that heart up and through, pull it up. Exhale, forehead to mat. Focus in here. Really believe it. No limits. I want into I intend. Inhale, press it up through plank or tabletop. Hips high and back, downward facing dog. Recultivating breath here. Inhale into a point that's still hanging on, that's still nudging you. Exhale, sweep it out. Inhale, that left leg breathes high to the sky, reach it tall. As you exhale, take your time, knee into belly, into chest, looking at that thumb, gently step it through. Inhale, breath, right comes to meet left. Exhale, soften into a fold. Inhale, press into your shins, find your halfway lift, crown reaches tall. Exhale, melt into that forward fold. Sweep your arms up and around, reach it tall, standing into our mountain pose. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, reach it tall. Exhale, swan dive it forward, fold. Take some time here, really release through that neck, through that jaw. On an inhale breath, press into those shins. Find your halfway lift, create that space. Exhale, melt those hands down to your mat. Last time, inhale, step it back, left leg, and then right. Take a big cultivating inhale breath here, feel the power, and then exhale through plank or tabletop all the way to belly. Tops of your toes, press in. Inhale, cobra pose, shine that heart. Exhale, forehead to mat. Taking 3 breaths here. If you need to stack your palms underneath your forehead to give your nose a little bit more room, permission to do that here, but really feel it. After we've cultivated this energy, this heat, this space of a sun salutation, all of that solar, powerful energy, bringing it into our own being, our own space, genuinely feel that shift of I want what you were intending into I intend. Your intention, your belief, your truth. Feel it here and now. One more big breath. Feeling in that truth, that intention, that fact for your life here forward. Breathe in all the way down into your pinky toes. Open mouth, exhale. Share it with the universe. On your next inhale, let your hands come back underneath your shoulders. Toes curl under. Pressing it up just into our tabletop. Find some nice little organic movements if it's calling to you, or stillness if that is where your space is. But you can wag your tail, shake your head yes and no. Release any tension that breath to body movement might have brought up in our bodies. And then either curling under over your ankles or sweeping your legs out to the side, come into our seated position. Gripping onto your shins first, shine that heart up and through, pulling those collarbones away. Feel like a ribbon is pulling your crown nice and tall, just like a halfway lift, but from a seated position. And then as we exhale, we're going to come down vertebrae by vertebrae, pressing it into the mat, stone by stone. Let each vertebrae make its own imprint in on the sand, the imaginary sand that's on our yoga mat. And then from that space, we've got 3 to 5 breaths that are yours. You can find some nice windshield wipers with your knees. Perhaps happy baby is calling to you. After some salutation, just find the shapes your body needs, the energy your shape needs, and maybe it's stillness, permission to take constructive rest where your feet fall out wide, knees knock in towards each other, and you just find your drishti point, your point of unmoving energy, or even eyes closed. Once you feel balanced, once you've given each side the same amount of love, each side the same windshield wiper, kick and happy baby, or breath energy in constructive rest. Let your legs go long, fingertips reach up overhead, big, deep, full body stretch, reaching into the space, breathing into the belly, finding your opportunity to connect here. Exhale, soften into gravity. Let your space be full on your mat. Inhale, pull that right knee up into your space. Take your hands with a basket grip right underneath your right knee. And then find a nice tight squeeze into that right knee. When you can't go any further, move it out of the way of the rib cage, moving it closer towards your right armpit. Find a little bit more compression. And then on an exhale breath, let that left hand guide it over towards the left while your gaze falls towards the right. Right hand can fall out at a T or maybe at a goalpost. Just try and keep both shoulders down onto the mat, letting yourself breathe into your side bodies. Breathe into this nice cleansing rinse of a twist. And again, just finding your breath, focusing in on the shift from I want into I intend. And know it as truth. Feel it in the space. Feeling it in with your breath and the genuine feeling of that truth. Knowing it in every cell of your body. Find 2 more breaths on this side. Fill up completely in your inhales. Use those exhales to soften a little more into the twist. 1 more breath. On your next inhale, gently guide that right knee back in towards midline. Give it a squeeze to itself, reset it in its hip socket. And then as you exhale, right leg goes long. Inhale that left knee up in to space, opposite basket grip underneath your knee, the one that feels a little awkward. Now give it a tight squeeze. Really find some compression here. Use your arms to really pull it up and in. And then when you can't squeeze any tighter, move it out of the way of the ribs and pull it up in towards your left armpit. Find a tight compression here. And then on an exhale breath, let that right hand guide that left knee over towards the right hand side. Gaze falls towards the left. Left arm can fall out at a T or a goalpost. And again, finding your breath here, finding the release, letting gravity take over, nothing forced or holding on in any muscle. Even check in yet again in your jaw, let your tongue fall from the roof of your mouth. Your gaze goes fuzzy. As you take these final couple breaths, feeling the truth. Not just what in the future, when you gain this, right now, have the physical sensation of that intention, of that truth. Feel it in your shape, in your body, in your here, in your now. 2 more breaths on this side. Use those exhales, soften a little bit deeper. Last big breath here. Send that inhale all the way into your pinkies and your toes. Really fill up. Once your lungs are full, take one more tiny sip at the top. Soften in that exhale. Next inhale breath. Gently come back through midline. Give that left knee one more tight squeeze to itself. And then let that right knee come up to meet left, giving yourself a tight squeeze here. Hands are reaching towards opposite elbows. Scrunch your toes. Activate through your shins and your calves. Feel your hamstring fire and then your quads. Squeeze your glutes, your belly, your low spine. Now get your back involved, your shoulders and your chest, really activating here, entire core. Now scrunch your fingers. Activate through those forearms and then biceps and triceps. Now get your shoulders and neck involved. Face comes up off the mat, kissing your knees. Now scrunch your face like you just bit into your favorite piece of fruit. You just can't handle it. It's just so good. Activating every single muscle in your body. Feel your power, your strength, your truth here. And then as you exhale, let it all go. Take up some space. Legs fall away from each other. Arms fall away from your body. And then just like we actively contracted and utilized every single muscle, actively release. Soften through your toes and your feet. Let your calves and shins feel like they are lighter than air. Quads, hamstrings, glutes, and low belly are all supported by gravity, just floating in space. Release any shape you're holding in your hands. Let your forearms, your biceps and triceps soften. Shoulders sink a little bit deeper down into the earth. Chest and belly are only moving because of our breath entering and exiting. Now check in your neck. Soften through your shoulders, your neck. Let your jaw soften, tongue fall from the roof of your mouth. Soften your face. And finally, that third eye center, that space right between your eyebrows. Float off into that feeling of truth, that feeling of Shavasana. Slowly begin to bring some awareness back into your space, back into the room, and back onto your mat. Slowly bring that awareness back into our bodies by wiggling your toes, maybe stretching and balling in your hands, any little micro movements you need to bring yourself back to life. And then once you feel like you have fully arrived back into your mind and back into your space, on an inhale, let those fingers reach up overhead, taking a nice, big, deep, full belly breath. From this space, recognize right or left hand side. Right hand side for external solar energy. Left for internal, a little bit softer lunar energy. Whichever side is calling to you, use that bicep as a pillow, pull your knees in towards chest, and roll over onto that side for our final posture of reawakening, re-welcoming ourselves back into our day and back into this feeling of truth, this feeling of intention. Keeping your eyes closed or your gaze soft, using that opposite hand as a prop, gently press up into our comfortable seated position towards the top of our mat. Once you're there, bringing hands to heart center, maybe palms into chest. Drop your chin towards chest, thanking self first and foremost for showing up, for moving, for breathing, but most importantly, making that shift from I want into I intend, and knowing that as your new truth. Keeping your eyes closed, bring those hands together at third eye center, pressing your thumbs in between your eyebrows. Lift your chin slightly in a sign of appreciation and awareness of the energy and effort we were able to share today. Please know that the inner teacher and light within me so appreciates and so recognizes the inner teacher and light within each of you. And one way to say this is to bow our heads and say, Namaste.